Hello and welcome to another episode of the Veterans Corner. My name is Chuck Wooden. I'm joined by my co-host, Donna Dunyan.
Everyone.
Donna, every time I just announce you, I want to make sure from this point forward that we say the Executive Director for the Veterans Strong Community Center out of Bristol.
Thank you.
We got to give that plug.
Thank you.
So, and Donna's been with me for quite some time, and we enjoy being here.
We do.
This right here, this is something that we do. Was that a question?
No. I was agreeing with you.
One thing that we haven't done in a long time for the first time viewers, we want to let you know what this show is all about, the mission statement. The Veterans Corner has been around since 2013, and here we are, 2023.
And how many episodes?
And episodes, I found out tonight, this is our 279th episode, the Veterans Corner. The show is dedicated, the mission of this show is to bring organizations, foundations, any entity that provides a service for the veteran community, and to give them exposure. So that's our mission, and that's what we've been doing for the last 278 episodes.
Yeah.
So we're always finding out, we're learning new things, just as you are. So it's a great service to the veterans community. We have two folks with us today that are new to the show, which is a good thing because a lot of times we have repeats for updates. It's always nice to see new faces. We have Peter and Jamie. Go ahead, do it.
No, you got it. Come on, Chuck, you got this.
DePaleola.
That was close, just like a hand grenade can get close.
Well, it was
DePaleola.
DePaleola. Yeah, that's, you know what? Anybody that's been watching this show for a while, if you notice, I'm just laughing at myself because I always butcher names. And it's obviously tonight was, we're going to keep the streak going. So with that being said, two Marine veterans?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Thank you very much for your service.
It's our honor.
Our pleasure.
Can you tell us when you served, just briefly when you served and where you served?
I served in from 1977 to 81 on active duty, did some reserve time, and I was stationed in Kaneohe Bay, Hawaii.
Wow, nice.
And I served for 24 years, 4 years active and 20 reserve. I got out to raise my family, and two of our sons became Marines. Yeah.
And one of them's, if I read correctly somewhere, one's retiring soon?
In April, he'll be retiring from the Marine Corps after 20 years.
20
yes,
years.
sir. Yeah.
Great family tradition.
No, absolutely. So you're here to talk about Connecticut Veterans Day race. Can you tell us a little about how you got that started and what your mission statement is?
Sure, happy to do that. Like your mission here, it's everything you do is to help veterans. So we had an opportunity to raise some funds for a veteran organization. And one of the ideas that I decided to come up with, because I like to run, was let's have a race. So we started the Connecticut Veterans Day race. This is our 8th year of running that event, and everything we do is on a volunteer basis. Everything we raise goes to veteran organizations. We'll talk about that in a little bit. And the whole idea is to bring in different veteran organizations and groups into the park so other veterans and the community can see what is going on with veterans and how we can help them. So the whole idea, everything we do is to highlight the different groups that are out there that help veterans, especially veterans that are in need, veterans that are homeless, but a lot of veterans that just maybe don't realize the services that they can get into. So we just try to raise awareness, educate, and then we have our event itself is for those who want to run, walk, or ruck.
Yeah.
So we have a 4-mile run. We don't do a 5K, it's a 4-mile run. And then we have a 3-mile walk and a 3-mile ruck. So those are the components of that participants can sign up for and be active in.
All right. So you have a resource fair in with it as well? We'll call it a resource fair. The same day?
in essence.
Pretty much we do. We have the beneficiaries who are veteran service organizations are set up there in the park as well. And to add on to what Peter's saying is both of us being veterans ourselves, I didn't know a lot of the services that were there for me. And when Peter wanted to raise money to help one of the organizations I was a member of, we said, there's all these other services that are out there that we don't even know. So it was motivated, we were both motivated to bring forward that information to the public and to all the communities of which we serve. So that's what's a Connecticut-wide event.
Yeah. I mean, that falls right into what we do here. We just do it with the marketing part of it, the media, as far as getting it out there.
So what types of service organizations are there? Can you tell us the specifics about who benefits from the race?
Certainly, each year we try to diversify our beneficiary pool because there's so many of them out there. But this year we have Homes for the Brave out of Bridgeport. It's a homeless shelter. It's the only female veteran shelter that exists in the state of Connecticut that's dedicated just to female veterans. They also have the home that's Female Soldiers Forgotten Heroes. That's a part of the Homes for the Brave organization. And then we have this year's Veterans Base Camp in Chaplin, Veterans Rally Point in Norwich, Veterans Ride for Free. They are kind of all over Connecticut. House of Heroes, Connecticut, Backpacks for Life, that's for homeless veterans, and then New England Animal Bond Foundation. They work with equine therapy and dog therapy for the veteran community, and then the Connecticut Department of Veterans Affairs outreach program.
That's a hefty group of organizations, and many of them we've had on the show.
Yeah. Homes for Heroes.
Homes for Heroes.
Obviously, Rally Point has
Rally
been
Point, yeah.
that's been a regular staple here on the
They're
show.
amazing. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, that's awesome. That's wonderful.
You sit there and you look at the list. We're constantly trying to find guests. Some of those we've had, but we're definitely in contact. We're going to use your list.
Sure.
And well, no, that's what it's all about, networking. And hopefully we can get some of those folks on the show.
Speaking about networking, a couple of things that we do I'll talk about the actual event, the running part. We end up with about 300 participants in the park. And so we have a variety of runners. Some are exceptionally fast. Yeah. So even on our 4-mile course, we have some folks that can do that in a little over 21 minutes. So if anyone wants a challenge, come on out. The course takes you around the area where Captain Nathan Hale actually grew up.
Okay.
It's not too far from his homestead, but it's kind of in his neighborhood. And for those who may not know, Captain Nathan Hale worked under General George Washington back in the day. And unfortunately, he was captured as a spy. And we know his demise was in Long Island somewhere. No one knows where. But we have a opening ceremony that starts off with a dynamic warm-up from our friends at Integrated Rehab. Gets everybody warmed up. It's a little chilly in November, but we get everybody going. And then we have a very patriotic few minutes where we welcome the runners. We introduce a variety of people on our welcome with UConn's Ruby Fruit a cappella group sings our national anthem. We have a color guard.
Wow.
And no matter what's going on, the gun goes off at 10 a.m. sharp. Sharp. So it's a very fast morning.
Nice. I had a question at the top of my head, and as always, it went.
And it went away.
It went away.
Did you catch it?
Nope.
No.
We haven't developed that far in our relationship.
We're usually pretty good by just looking, but this time we missed it.
So how many registrations do you have already for the race? Because this is Veterans Day, so it's coming up quickly, less than a month away. How many registrations are you up to so far for this year?
We're almost at 150 signed registrations.
Okay.
And our event is the Saturday before Veterans Day, because that's always a busy weekend. So we want all the veterans and a lot of people that support us to have that time to enjoy their veteran services. So we do it the week before. But yeah, 150 so far. I think we're going to surpass the 300 mark this year at the rate things are going, when we look at the comparative data.
Well, we will pray for a non-rainy fall New England weekend for you.
We appreciate that. we appreciate that. We had one year that was very interesting. We had rain, hail, and then sunshine. But that's New England.
Yeah.
But almost every year, by the time our event comes, it has been good weather.
Good weather.
So worst case is put on your little beanie and come on out and run.
Now, you mentioned a park, I don't think we talked about where it is specifically.
Good question. The actual address for those who are keeping track is 172 Lake Street in Coventry. It's called Patriots Park. You can find it on your map. Drop a pin if you're looking to come there. We have some off-site parking for those who want to have a little extra walking before they get to the park. But the park does fill up. We have a good turnout. We have some military supporters that are going to be there as well.
Now, how's the turnout this year, the registration up to this date, compared to the last, what is it, 7 years?
7 years.
Yeah.
It's very good. Very good. Tracking very good. So we're
Each
very excited
year.
about it. Each year it gets a little bit bigger.
Hopefully, this exposure here will get those numbers to rise even more.
Yeah, we appreciate that.
Now, as far as the funds and all the proceeds that you raise, how much of that goes out to the organization?
We have
Well, I'm going to let my marketing expert here touch on that.
we have two different pots of money that we work with. Peter, as the race director, he he manages the operational expenses
Yeah.
from the race revenue. I work on the sponsorships, which we get outside sponsors as well, and that's what 100% goes towards the beneficiaries. Now, we've given out in the last 7 years over $70,000.
Wow.
And hopefully we can be able to continue that. During COVID, we had our race, and if it wasn't for the money we gave some of these organizations, they wouldn't have made it.
Yeah.
So it was really hard for everybody during that time.
It was a tough time during
Yeah.
20 and 21.
Exactly.
Tough time,
So.
any type of-
But we were out there, and we had a great showing, and people were very supportive. The sponsorships were wonderful as well. So we had one of our best years. Was that.
We actually noticed, I mean, at the center, I'm sure
Yeah.
you've seen it, prior to COVID, I mean, we really never had a problem getting guests. Once COVID hit, a lot of the organizations or
Right.
small groups that did services for veterans, they kind of disappeared, unfortunately.
Yeah, some folded, but I know you guys, because you actually help the other nonprofits. So
Right.
did you notice that your beneficiary pool changed after COVID or because of COVID?
One of the things that we noticed was the need went up, and I mean we had 2 or 3 of our key beneficiaries that we help a lot. They said the funds raised from our event helped them stay alive through COVID, because it was pretty rough. Most running events, when you look at some national numbers, from 2019 to post-COVID, dropped by 20%. And most of them are only back up 9-10%.
Yeah.
So we're very fortunate. We've got some loyal followers that run the event over and over again. And we always like to get some new runners as well, because everything that we do on the race side, all those funds, we just cover the race operational expenses. And like Jamie says, her part on the marketing side, every dollar goes out to our beneficiaries, and it helps them out.
And some of the race revenue as well, whatever that magic number is, after our expenses are paid, we want to get it out there.
Right.
Yeah.
We've had,
I mean, it's got to be pretty rewarding to know that your efforts were obviously received, and because of you, these organizations stuck around.
we appreciate that. One of the things we find is when people understand over time what our event does, and people like us, everyone does want to help.
Yeah.
And they always try to find ways to help, which is why, a lot of it due to Jamie's, creative thinking is, as we've expanded our running event, our walking event, and our rucking event, it's morphed into a whole lot more that we can offer to our veterans. I'll tell you one or two quick stories from the participant side, and then some of the benefits that have happened on the other side. One of my favorite stories is we actually had a runner who is visually impaired. So she and her guide ran our 4-mile course, and she actually placed in her age category. And it was a thrill. It was amazing to watch. Yeah. So we're just really, we're honored that she picked our event, but it was really thrilling as a veteran and everyone in the park to see them come across. It was really a special and unique. Very much so. We've also getting a little more notice from our younger runners, and we've noticed that population is growing more and more. We have a wonderful school system in town, and they do a lot on Veterans Day. So more younger runners are trying to come out, and they sign up, and they feel like they're doing something to help veterans as well. Oh. So it's a nice addition.
So are there any little extra things you do on race day to benefit some of your beneficiaries?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
For Backpacks for Life, which is a program headquartered out of New Jersey, we collect daily essential items to put in military-grade backpacks, and then those are distributed to the homeless veteran community. I work directly, I'm one of their program managers as well, but I work directly with other VSOs that service those homeless veterans. I don't vet the veteran, they do. So I provide the backpacks for that veteran service organization. So we do that we tell all the runners, all the local communities, if you want to donate a daily essential item, bring it to the race on race day, and we've got the Coventry National Honor Society. They're going to be sorting the stuff and then putting it in the backpacks, and they'll be ready for distribution at the end of that day. The second thing we do for the rucksack, we ask the participants to put non-perishable food items in their backpack. We don't care about the weight or whatever. I don't care if you bring top ramen in your backpack, but and at the end of the ruck, then you donate that food that you carried for 3 miles to the Vittles for Veterans food pantry, which is part of Veterans Base Camp. And so last year we filled up an entire Jeep from floor to ceiling.
Nice.
Yeah, they were very surprised with how much, how generous the people were. So there's something for everybody. Yeah. There's something for spectators. There's something for the participants. It's really, sponsors, everybody. They all enjoy it. They feel that they're doing their part to serve our country too, and serve these veterans that served our country. So.
And I've had the honor of touring a couple of times Veterans Base Camp and seeing their food pantry, and that's. Once you cross over into the eastern side of the state, I feel like it's harder and harder to get services because it's more rural, and you'd have to go down to Norwich or New London to really have that city resource hub. Rally point is there. So when you get out into the country, it's harder and harder to find the services, and I think that's where Veterans Base Camp and their food pantry helps not just people there, but I know they do a lot of outreach, and there's more people going to them, and they've got a huge. I used to be like, oh yeah, I've got 5 shelves of food at the center. They've got like a whole basement full of food, and it was just amazing to see all that. So that's wonderful that you guys contribute and help with them as well.
Yeah, we appreciate that. One of the things we find is between the food pantry, as well as the backpack program, which it's a military-grade backpack that we give to those veterans that are homeless or really at risk. We've been at meetings where we're talking about backpacks, or we're looking at putting a program or donation drive together, and someone else will walk in the room, and what is that? And we'll explain what it is, and they'll say, oh, I know a couple of veterans that are under this bridge, or I know a group of veterans that are out in the woods over here. So people know of people, and so we try to connect with them and make sure that something as important as a military-grade backpack gets to those that are needing. That's part of what our event is also about: is raise awareness for the resources that were out there, the help that's out there. We don't want anyone to be alone.
One thing you mentioned, the backpacks. I know what we're going to do. We were going to print out a couple for this evening, but we didn't get a chance to. The flyer that you sent. That's going to go on my personal Facebook page, the Veterans Corner Facebook page. We'll get the word out on that.
Well, most veterans will know that a backpack is their home, so that's why this program is successful with the homeless veteran community in particular, because they have nothing, and then you give them a military-grade backpack, and we've seen tears. They feel like they hug it, and they said, "It's like gold." One of them said, "This is like gold to me."
Oh, yeah.
It's
So-
not the dollar store grade backpack.
No,
It's a real.
It's a real.
No, we want quality,
It's a real thing.
all new items in the backpack. We're not going to go cheap on the veteran.
You had mentioned the term VSO.
Yes.
We haven't mentioned that in a while on this show, but for those who don't know what a VSO is, it's a veteran service organization. May it be the VFW, the American Legion, DAV, the list goes on. You also have veteran service officers
Yes.
that work at those VSOs to help them with claims and so on and so forth. You can usually find those at the posts, a lot of times at the posts, or at the state hospital. I know in Newington there is,
There's a couple.
and I'm sure every organization is represented there, and I'm sure down at West Haven.
So you have runners, walkers. What if you have someone who is not physically able to do either of those things? How can they help? What do you need most from those type of people? Do
You want that?
volunteer?
Well, we
Tell me your idea along the raceway.
Oh, yes. We're looking for patriotic, Americans out there to cheer on the runners and the ruckers and the walkers. Bring your American flags, wear your pride there, and cheer on the other runners. We do have a volunteer pool that Yukon crew team. There's, they come out and help us. A lot of the community help us. That's or donate some items, but just cheering the crowd on, coming to see, experiencing the opening ceremony. All of that shows it's not Veterans Day is not just a day off from work or day off from school. I mean, how do we show our respect and honor to a veteran? This is one way you can do it. This is one way you can do it.
So one of the things that's fun is where our event takes place is, so when you come out of the park, you actually go up and around one side of what's called Veterans Green. So it's where our local monuments are. It's also home of the State Vietnam Veteran Memorial Wall.
Yes.
So it has all the names of the 613 Vietnam veterans that were killed in action. So then you go down, so when you come back, you're now on the other side of the park. And so it's a nice place for people who want to bring their flags, bring the family, and see the runners and walkers and ruckers go out one way, and within a short period of time, they'll come back the other way. So
We are actually winding down, as always. These shows the 25 minutes goes by extremely fast. One thing we definitely want to touch on is how to contact for donations, for support, for anybody who wants to get involved. I'm sure you'd love to see more people get involved. And Facebook page.
We have a Facebook page. Yep.
What is it?
It's a Connecticut Veterans Day race. Just put that in and let's get our Facebook page.
Right now, the website is up on the
Good.
website page is on the screen for the viewers. So that's there, and that's Connecticut Veteran or CT Veterans
Day race.
Dayrace.com.
Yes.
We have 5 pages on that website that you can navigate through. If you're going to participate, you want to be a sponsor, want to be a volunteer, there's something for everybody there, including the map of the course.
yes.
Yeah.
I was sitting there trying to look at my notes without my glasses. I know the email address is racedirector@ctveteransdayrace.com.
Yes.
And just one last time, what's the date for everybody
November 4th
in Coventry?
in Coventry, Connecticut. It's at Patriots Park.
Is there a deadline for sign up?
You can sign up on race day.
Race Director.
Everything's online.
Perfect.
Everything's online, so we'll look forward to seeing you there too.
I'll come cheer Chuck on.
And we offer virtual too. You can do this all virtually too if you can't show up on the day of. Yeah, so we have people in Maryland. Actually, our son and his children are running it. He's active duty Marine. So,
Well, it's been a pleasure. What we'd
Thank you.
really like to do is have you back sometime. Give us an update.
certainly.
Okay.
Let us know how the race went.
Yeah.
it was an absolute honor. It was nice to meet you folks, and it was a pleasure.
Thank you very much.
Good to meet you too. Thanks for the time. Thanks for having us. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thanks.
With that being said, that's all the time we have. We want to thank the viewers for watching. Thank you. Good night. See you the next time on the Veterans Corner.
I'm your host, Kurt Barwis. Today, I have a very special guest, Dr. Andrew Lim.
Hello, and welcome to another episode of the Veterans Corner. My name's Chuck Wooden.
Decision for ourselves for this week if we want to be made well.
Hi, welcome to the crack of dawn. It's Dawn Lombardi. I'm starting the painting. It's going to be the cliffs with some water. Love it.
He took me on the sets of Lost in Space, Batman.
Everybody has a story. What's yours? Until next time.